highlight to our party conference to have an address from a very close friend of the party. I think it's wonderful to have Leanne Wood AM with us, the leader of Plaid Cymru, Leanne Wood.
What a lovely welcome. Gyfeillion, friends. It's a great pleasure to be back here in Scotland. It's a place I've come to know quite well in recent months. And I'd like to begin by saying from all of us in Plaid Cymru, the Party of Wales, llongyfarchiadau mawr. Congratulations to you all. You have started a democratic revolution. Not only have you inspired and empowered thousands of previously disillusioned people in Scotland, your grassroots movement and its enthusiasm has reverberated far beyond your country. I was proud to campaign alongside you, and I'm very glad to be able to be here in person to wish Alex Salmond our very best wishes for the future, and also to say thank you for the years of friendship that I am sure will continue for many years to come. It's also good to be able to be here to offer my congratulations in person to my friend Nicola Sturgeon, and I'm looking forward to working closely with your new leader, your new First Minister in the coming months. We face a UK election in a matter of a few short months, and already attempts are being made to lock out the alternatives to the 4 shades of Westminster grey. I reiterate today, it is undemocratic and it is unacceptable for broadcasters to deny people the opportunity to hear from and to scrutinise all major party leaders from all of the nations that make up this British state. It should not be an England-only debate. Viewers in England have a right to know what our priorities will be when the SNP and Plaid Cymru hold the balance of power in Westminster after the next election. As members of both the SNP and Plaid Cymru, we know, and we have known for many years, that the Westminster system is broken. And it is why we want to bring our governments home to the nations. We understand that the best decisions are made when power is held in the hands of the people. And this is where the Westminster parties are still yet to grasp the irreversible changes that have occurred. It is the peoples of the nations of the UK who are sovereign, not Westminster. And that new reality must be reflected as the relationships between our countries are reconstructed in the coming months. And that means two things. First, a comprehensive transfer of powers from Westminster to the nations. And crucially, on matters that are not transferred, there must be a forum where the different governments of the UK can come together as equals to make decisions jointly. Let me outline why this is so crucial. We have a democratic deficit in the UK that directly impacts upon the people of Wales and the people of Scotland. Neither voted for the current government. Neither Wales nor Scotland voted for the brutality of austerity. Austerity that is leading to the dismantling of the welfare state. A welfare state that was hard won in no small part by those returning from the front line after the Second World War. Their legacy should not result in people today suffering on the breadline. And though we will fight for as many decisions affecting our people to be made by our people in their respective nations, we cannot allow ourselves to be left voiceless and powerless on non-devolved matters. Now, I know of one matter that is of particular interest here in Scotland. Defence will likely remain reserved to the UK government for the time being at least. And don't the people of Wales and Scotland abhor weapons of mass destruction? Would we not prefer instead to spend that money on public services, on hospitals, on schools? And so it is right, fair and democratic that any decisions made about the purchase and location of weapons of mass destruction require universal support from the governments of the UK. I want a reformed UK Ministerial Council consisting of the governments of the UK to include a provision whereby the wishes of our people are not just heard but adhered to. Reserved powers should mean shared powers. And let me make it clear that a Plaid Cymru government in Wales from 2016 will insist on major decisions at a UK level needing consensus between the governments, or at the very least, an option to opt out. Now, the people power that grew from a grassroots movement in Scotland and during the referendum campaign will spread, and it will result in power being delivered to the people. A new state may not have been born in September, but you have built a new democracy, and no party, no government can disestablish that. The so-called vow made by the unionist parties in the last hours of the referendum campaign was not their vow to make. It was the people's to demand, and now their demands must be met. Our two countries, Wales and Scotland, are on our respective national journeys. We had to start from scratch in Wales in 1999 without the foundations that you managed to retain since the Treaty of Union. But for too long in Wales, Westminster politicians have used that as an excuse to put brakes on our national progression. They still don't agree that Wales should catch up with Scotland. Plaid Cymru's ambitions for Wales are not about playing catch-up with anyone. For us, it's about securing a basic principle of parity. Wales is a nation, not a region of the UK. Whatever the... And that means, whatever the going rate for devolution is for the devolved nations, that at the very least we demand and expect the same for our own country. Because rebalancing power and wealth in Britain must mean parity, it must mean equity. Drip-feed devolution to Wales, whilst other parts are treated differently, is no longer acceptable. Like Scotland, Wales has historically always paid more than its fair share. Our coal, iron, steel, it powered the world. But when others decided that they no longer wanted our natural resources, they intentionally deindustrialized our communities. And since then, a small few in a square mile in London have got rich quick at the expense of the rest of us. The imbalance experiment is over. It has failed. It has almost bankrupted the entire British state. And the result has been growing inequality, ever greater wealth gaps. So Plaid Cymru wants Wales to have the powers to thrive and the resources to flourish. We want to see a new industrial revolution that will create opportunities and prosperity. But crucially, we want the powers for Wales that will ensure that the fruits of our next industrial revolution are felt by all, in all parts, and are not concentrated in the hands of the few. I joined Plaid Cymru because I have always recognised that the national movement and the movement for social justice go hand in hand, complementary forces that can unlock the national potential as well as the people's potential. It is what I envisage will drive both our parties when we hold the balance of power after the next UK general election. Bringing powers home so that we can strengthen the social fabric of our countries, to deliver prosperity for all, but to reinvigorate our social solidarity too. So many people expected the referendum result to silence Scotland and to put us all back in our place. They will never cease to underestimate the national movements, but they are mistaken. The surge in support for your party since the referendum reflects not just the nature of the invigorating Yes campaign, but the political character of your country now. No nation can go through such an engaging democratic renewal and ever be the same again. I was proud that so many members of Plaid Cymru stood shoulder to shoulder with you during that campaign. And our two parties and our two countries will continue to stand together in the coming months to win for our peoples. Together, we are on a journey that will result in Wales and Scotland standing together as two proud, independent countries. I will leave you with this. September the 18th was not the end. It was just the beginning. Thank you.